I wanted to use this rusty metal to build an end table that would sort of nest with our couch. $42.7. I wanted to make it kind of like the coffee table I made about 3 years ago, but not really matching it, just more in the spirit of the coffee table. A tapered frame that's metal with some wood on top. I'm forcing myself to TIG weld this whole thing for TIG practice. I badly want to pull out my MIG welder, but I've gotta get a handle on TIG welding. Alright, I'm making a huge mistake here and not realizing it at all. Basically, each time I heat up this corner here, expansion happens and pushes that vertical to the left. And then as cooling happens, that vertical contracts back to the right farther than it expanded to the left. And in the video, we can see this happening. As I do this weld, we see the vertical beam warping to the left. I was aware of this, I just forgot about it when I was doing this weld. Got myself into a little bit of a pickle. I mismanaged the heat when I was welding those corners there, and the table would lean this way. My first thought was to pry up the top, then apply heat with some torches, hoping it would just kind of cool in place. But the torches ended up heating the metal too evenly, so that didn't work. Try and do this through the rust. So using the TIG torch, I applied quick heat to just the top of the square tubing. Then I let it cool for 15 minutes, did that a few times. What's interesting is that when I apply the torch to the top, this board gets really firm. Then once that cools down, it gets loose, which makes sense because the heat causes it to expand some. That is pretty much about to fall out. Eventually the front had curled up and I was good to go. I would recommend doing things the proper way, which is not this way. The tabletop will hide the curve and the tabletop won't even be mounted to the curve, so this curve really is a non-issue for me. A better fix would have been to cut and re-weld. The reason I did it this way was I really wanted to get a feel for how metal reacts to heat and loss of heat. And one way to get a feel for that is to use the problem of expansion and over-contraction as a solution to its own problem. So anyway, I would just tack the thing to the table in the future and avoid the problem altogether. It'd be interesting to measure that to see how close it ended up being to this. We'll just say it's really close. It's not heavy, it's just the angle. This is usually a bad idea. Oh. Cherry, do the butternut. Oh, look at that. All right, I just made a considerable mistake. So I've already dealt with my emotions. I'm going to cut the steel back and fill it in. This is the bottom.